Let me ask you a question. When was the last time someone tried to get under your skin and succeeded? This morning? Yesterday? Maybe it's happening right now. Here's the truth. Most people don't lose because they're weak. They lose because they react. They lose because they get bothered, offended, distracted, enraged. And the world is watching you, waiting for you to crack. Your competition, watching. Your critics, watching. Even your friends, watching. But what if I told you the greatest superpower in today's world is to act as if nothing bothers you? Not because you're numb, but because you're focused. Not because you don't care, but because you know what matters. Stay with me till the end of this speech because I will show you exactly why mastering this one skill will change your business, your relationships, and your life. Emotional control is power, not just metaphorically, but literally. In a world where everyone is reacting, overthinking, getting triggered, and blowing up over small things, the person who remains calm holds the true advantage. You walk into a meeting, someone disrespects you, subtly questions your competence. Most people feel the urge to defend, to fight back, to prove their worth in that instant. But here's the truth. The moment you need to prove yourself emotionally, you've already given your power away. Think about how many opportunities people lose, not because they lack skill, but because they couldn't manage their reactions. Emotional outbursts close doors. Being easily rattled breaks trust. You could be brilliant, but if you're volatile, you're unreliable. The calm person, however, becomes a magnet for trust. People naturally feel safe around someone who doesn't overreact. It's not about being passive, it's about being in control. That's real power. And yes, staying calm is hard, especially when you're disrespected, overlooked, criticized, or pushed to the edge. But acting unbothered doesn't mean you're ignoring problems. It means you refuse to let problems control your emotions. There's a big difference. It means that while chaos is raging on the outside, you have trained your mind to stay collected on the inside. Leaders, creators, entrepreneurs, athletes, they all face relentless pressure. But the best ones don't explode, they don't rant, and they don't show their panic. Why? Because they understand that losing your temper is expensive. It costs you credibility, energy, and most of all, control. The more control you have over yourself, the less control the world has over you. In the beginning, yes, it feels fake. You're boiling inside, but forcing yourself to smile, to pause, to breathe. And that's fine. Growth starts in discomfort. Over time, your nervous system adapts. Your mind recalibrates. And eventually, you don't have to act unbothered, you become unbothered. You develop internal strength, and with it comes a calm confidence that doesn't need to yell or prove or overreact. It just is. The one who masters their emotions walks into any room and owns it not through dominance, but through presence. Emotional control makes people lean in. It makes them listen. Because in a storm of chaos, the calm one becomes the center of gravity. People remember that. People follow that. So every time you feel that urge to snap, to argue, to defend your pride, ask yourself, am I reacting to them or responding from strength? Control is a choice. And if you can learn to choose calm in moments of chaos, you'll realize you don't just survive the storm, you are the storm. Silent, focused, unshakable. Calmness is often misunderstood. People think staying calm means you're passive, weak, or indifferent. But in reality, calmness is one of the most dangerous weapons you can possess. It's the tool of those who've seen the chaos, who've been in the fire and chose not to be consumed by it. The world moves fast. People panic quickly. Emotions flare up instantly, and reactions come without thought. In the middle of all that noise, the one who remains calm doesn't just stand out, they take control. Because in times of pressure, the loudest one isn't the leader. The calmest one is. Being calm under pressure gives you clarity. When everyone else is reacting emotionally, the calm person is calculating, observing, choosing. They're not letting temporary feelings make permanent decisions. They're not saying things they'll regret. They're not letting the heat of the moment destroy years of reputation, trust, or opportunity. That's strength, not the kind that throws punches or raises its voice, but the kind that keeps its head when everyone else is losing theirs. That kind of strength is rare, and rare strength becomes influence. Look at the people who command true respect. They don't get rattled by opinions, criticism, or short-term losses. That's not because they don't care, it's because they know what to care about. When you're calm, you're in control of what you give your energy to. You stop reacting to every insult, every delay, every distraction. You start choosing your battles. You start protecting your peace. And here's the truth, staying calm isn't natural for most people. You'll have to train it. You'll have to breathe when you want to scream. Sit still when you want to move. Stay silent when every part of you wants to argue. But each time you practice calmness, you build a new level of power within yourself. You stop being easy to provoke. You stop being predictable. You stop being manipulated. Because what can someone do to a person who doesn't react the way they expect? People often try to get under your skin because they want to control your behavior. They want to see you break. But when you don't respond the way they hoped, they lose their grip. They lose their power. Calmness creates space between their action and your reaction. In that space is where your freedom lives. In that space is your edge. So, if you want to be strong, don't focus on looking tough. Focus on staying calm. Don't let the noise of the world disturb the quiet you've built inside. Stay level-headed in the storm. Stay unshaken in the argument. When you can walk through fire without flinching, not because you're numb, but because you're focused. That's when the world starts to realize they can't touch you. That's when calm becomes not just a reaction, but your reputation. Sometimes the journey to strength starts with pretending. You're not calm yet, not fully, but you act like you are. You're still affected, but you don't show it. That's not hypocrisy, that's discipline. Acting unbothered doesn't mean lying to yourself. It means training yourself. You start by holding your expression, your tone, your posture, even when your emotions are trying to pull you into reaction. It's a conscious decision to show the world a version of you that isn't ruled by temporary chaos. And at first, yes, it's uncomfortable. You'll feel fake. But understand this, it's only fake until it becomes your new nature. Think of it like training a muscle. You don't go to the gym because you're already strong. You go because you're building strength. And while you're lifting those first few sets, it hurts. It feels wrong. Your body says, stop, but you push through. Emotional calm works the same way. You act composed even when you're shaken. You hold your ground even when you're anxious. Over time, the performance becomes the practice, and the practice becomes who you are. People often misunderstand process. They say, I don't want to pretend. I want to be authentic. But here's the truth. Your authentic self isn't the one that's panicking, lashing out, or breaking down. That's just the untrained version of you. The real you, the one with potential, vision, discipline, that version needs to be built, and pretending in the right way is part of that construction. You don't lie about your pain. You simply choose not to wear it on your face every time something doesn't go your way. And something fascinating happens when you keep acting unbothered. Your emotions catch up. What you once had to force becomes automatic. The people around you start seeing someone stable, composed, sharp, and eventually, that's who you become. You start building a reputation for reliability, for presence, for maturity. And the world begins to treat you with more respect, more trust, more seriousness, not because you shouted for it, but because you earned it with composure. This isn't about being emotionless. It's about mastering your emotions instead of being mastered by them. When you act unbothered long enough, you rewire your responses. You stop flinching at criticism. You stop fearing judgment. You stop overthinking every negative look or word. You develop something deeper than confidence. You develop emotional authority. And that's rare. People don't expect it. In a time when outrage is the norm, when reactions are instant and loud, your calm presence becomes a disruption. You become the exception. So start pretending if you must. Wear the calm, carry the strength, act like nothing shakes you. And one day you'll realize it's not an act anymore. It's who you've become. Leadership is not about being the loudest voice in the room. It's about being the most grounded one. When you walk into a situation where everything feels like it's falling apart, people don't look for the person who shouts orders or panics under pressure. They instinctively turn to the one who looks like they can hold it together. That's what calmness gives you: presence. And presence is power. In moments of tension, when everyone is losing direction, the leader isn't the one who reacts first. It's the one who pauses, observes, thinks, and then acts. The calmest person becomes the one others follow, not because they demanded it, but because they earned it through stillness. When you lead with composure, you show people that things are under control even when they're not. You give others a reason to breathe, to trust, to keep going. People take emotional cues from the person they look up to. If you panic, they panic. If you stay calm, they steady themselves too. That's why leadership demands a certain level of emotional detachment, not from your people, but from the chaos around you. You can care deeply and still not crumble. You can feel the pressure and still not let it show on your face. Some people think leadership is about being emotional, expressive, showing that you're human. That's true to an extent. Vulnerability builds connection, yes? But too much emotional volatility creates uncertainty. You don't want to be the kind of leader who gets visibly thrown off by every small setback. Because if you look lost, they feel lost. If you look unstable, they feel unsafe. Your stability is their anchor. Your composure becomes their calm. And here's the challenge. There will be moments when you feel like breaking, when things are going wrong, when trust is tested, when decisions feel impossible. That's when you're truly tested, not by your skills or your knowledge, but by your ability to remain unshaken. That's when leadership either emerges or collapses. Anyone can lead when everything is going well, but only the emotionally disciplined can lead when everything is falling apart. The truth is, composure gives you more than just influence, it gives you options. When you don't react emotionally, you see the situation with clarity. You can think 2, 3 steps ahead while others are still caught in the heat of the moment. You gain time, and time in decision-making is everything. The calm leader spots the opening while others are blinded by panic. So if you want to lead not just in title but in spirit, you have to train yourself to stay composed. Let others raise their voice, you keep your vision. Let others flinch under stress, you hold the line. And soon people will follow you, not because you told them to, but because in a noisy world, your calm became the signal they could trust. Being unbothered is not about pretending nothing affects you. It's about choosing what deserves your energy and what doesn't. The truth is, every day you will face situations designed to pull you out of character. People will test your patience, problems will test your discipline, and setbacks will test your confidence. But what makes someone powerful is not what happens to them, it's how they respond to it. And response is a choice. You can choose to let small things disturb your peace, or you can decide that your peace is too expensive to trade for something meaningless. You need permission to be calm. You don't need the world to be perfect to feel centered. You decide moment by moment how much control your environment has over you. The person who learns to act unbothered in the face of chaos is not passive. They are powerful. They're choosing their focus. They're protecting their mindset. They're saying to the world, you may throw what you want at me, but I won't hand over control of my emotions. That's not arrogance. That's self-mastery. You won't always feel calm. You won't always feel strong. But feelings aren't facts. And you don't have to feel unbothered to act like it. This is the key difference between emotional maturity and emotional impulsiveness. One reacts without thinking. The other pauses, reflects, and decides. That pause is where strength lives. In that split second where most people explode, you breathe. In the space between stimulus and response, you show the world who you really are. And what you'll realize is this: the more you act unbothered, the more you become unbothered. It starts as a decision. Then it becomes a discipline. Eventually, it becomes your identity. People begin to notice. They stop trying to get under your skin because it doesn't work anymore. They stop expecting you to break down because you never do. And slowly, your emotional strength becomes your reputation. You're the one who doesn't flinch. You're the one who doesn't overreact. You're the one who keeps moving forward while others get stuck in the drama. That's when you become dangerous, not because you're aggressive, but because you're composed. Not because you're cold, but because you're clear. In a world addicted to reactions, your stillness becomes magnetic. People respect it. They rely on it. They follow it. So decide today. Decide that not everything deserves your attention. Decide that not every insult needs a reply. Decide that your time, energy, and emotional clarity are too valuable to waste on things that won't matter in a week. Start choosing calm, even when chaos invites you to react. The more you choose calm, the more powerful you become. And in time, you'll discover the world doesn't need to change for you to be at peace. You just needed to stop giving it permission to disturb you. So now you understand being unbothered isn't weakness. It's warrior-level discipline. It's not that nothing affects you, it's that you choose what's worth your energy. In a world where everyone is quick to react, quick to break, and quick to blame, the one who stays calm holds the real power. The one who leads with stillness, who walks through chaos without flinching, who smiles when provoked, that person becomes unstoppable. You don't need to control the world. You only need to control how you move through it. And when you learn to act as if nothing bothers you, you send a message not just to others, but to yourself. I am in charge here. My emotions don't own me. My peace is not up for negotiation. So walk into your life with that power. Let people talk. Let setbacks come. Let pressure rise. You already know who you are. You already know what you stand for. The storm will always come, but now you are the calm inside it. Don't just survive the noise. Rise above it. Rule it. Become untouchable.